Hello, good morning, guys. Today we're gonna learn the linear layout. Linear layout is one of the most basic layout manager provided by Android, and the linear layout organizes the child views either horizontally or vertically based upon the specified orientation property. So, linear layout generally have this property which we define, is called the Android colon orientation. So if you want to have your layout, the blocks, the components in your view, if you want to see horizontal or vertical, is actually will be defined by this particular property. So that's one of the important property for linear layout. And there are a couple of more properties which are as important as the orientation, and those are we're gonna learn today about the three properties. So one is the orientation. The another one is the weight sum. So what weight sum will do, it defines the maximum weight sum. And for example, if you have two buttons in your layout, so what is the size of each button you want to have in your layout? So that will be defined by the maximum by the weight sum, and we'll see a practical demo as well for that. And the third one is gravity, which specifies how an object should position its content on both x and y axis and within its bound. So before starting, I will again say that once you see this video, go through after seeing this video, go to this particular documentation of given by the Android and go to developers.android.com/guide/topic/ui/layout/linear.html. So it has all the basic information about the linear layout, and it has couple of examples also which you can follow. Yep, here is the one. Okay, so let's start by doing practical. So open Android Studio. And let it come up. Great. So I'm assuming that you already will be having this project if you have seen my previous videos where we have created this project. So what we're gonna do in this, we're gonna add one activity, and we're going to see different and we're going to add few buttons, and then we are going to design the layout, and we'll see what is the difference between the orientation when you select orientation as horizontal and when you select orientation as vertical. So let's go here, select here, go here, select a new activity, go for empty activity. Let's say this activity as linear layout activity. So automatically that XML will get formed, and click on finish. Cool. So let's close this. Yeah, so we already have a linear layout activity over here. So activity has this particular layout. Let's go here. Let's go here. So by default, it has added the relative layout. Let's change it to linear layout. So all you need to do, start typing linear, so it will automatically type linear layout. And let's delete all these things because I will come later on to this. Right. So as you can see, linear layout, there is a XML attribute which is must for the linear layout, and here it's written that no orientation specified. So when you're using a linear layout, you have to have an orientation defined so that all the components, all the child, for example, if you're going to have buttons, so all the child buttons should follow that particular orientation. So let's type Android colon orientation, and so by default orientation, as I told earlier, is either horizontal or vertical. So let's go with the vertical one. So when you select vertical, you will see all the buttons will be in a horizontal way when you select, sorry, when you see horizontal, when you select orientation as horizontal, you will see all the buttons which we're gonna add will be in a horizontal way, and if you select orientation as vertical, it will be in a vertical way, in a column format. Okay, so here we are. So if we simply see, there is right now there is nothing over here because we have no button or text view. So let's start adding different buttons. So button, let's have wrap content, will say, I will say wrap content. Then we're gonna have text on this. Maybe we're gonna say button one. We're gonna have some ID. So actually ID is not required for this particular demo, but let's add this button one. So once you go here, you will see one button which is of, since we have given here wrap content, that's why it is just wrapping up the text which is there on the button, that and it's showing that particular width only. Let's go back here. Let's add one more button. Wrap content. Let's add button 2, and let's give ID also as button 2. So far so good. So if you see, so we will see our design, it will be two buttons, that is button 1 and button 2. And since we have wrap content, so that's why it's just taking the space or the width for that particular text. So if we will remove this and do match parent, let's see now what will happen. Match parent. So as you can see, because it's a match parent, and match parent we have complete width, so button 1 and button 2 was actually overlapping each other. So that's why what we need to use here is we need to use wrap content itself. Okay, let's have one more button. So we're gonna use wrap content here, and text as button 3. Is button 3. So you're gonna have three buttons, as you can see, which are in a form of, which are in a horizontal row. Okay, so now let's make it as vertical. So what do you think guys will happen? So now what will happen, all these three buttons will be in a column form. So here it is. So that's the basic difference between a vertical and horizontal. So if you see here, do horizontal, it will align like this. If you do vertical, it will align like this. Okay, so that's the first part of the tutorial. The second part of the tutorial is layout weight. So let's have only two buttons now, and so when we have two buttons, we are like this. Let's have layout weight as point 0.3, point 0.7. So you can see the difference between the two buttons. In the first button, because the whole layout weight should actually sum up to 1, and here we have given point 0.3 to first button and point 0.7 to second button, so that's why point second button taking more is taking more height in this particular case. If you do here horizontal, So now you can see the horizontally the button 1 and button 2. So that's how you can define weight. And again, let's go back to the third attribute. As I said earlier, we're gonna study three attributes today. So the third attribute will be, let's actually remove this. And okay, before going that, let me show you what I was saying, which three attributes I was saying. So you can go to again linear layout API. So here, so far we have studied about this Android orientation, which says should the layout be column or a row. Use horizontal for row and vertical for column. And the second one which we have studied is weight sum. Define the maximum weight sum. And the third one which we're gonna study now is Android colon gravity. So this will show how an object should be position its contact on both x and y axis and within its bound. So let's go and now see this example. So just remove everything over from here so that we can start afresh. So right now there is nothing over there. Let's have an edit box. Edit text, sorry. Let's have match parent, wrap content, and let's have some hint in that. And let's say maybe two. So what we're gonna see, we're gonna see one text box and an edit box with these particular things. Let's have some padding also. Padding left as 16 dp, padding right as 16 dp. So we're gonna learn about this padding also in our upcoming tutorial. And then we're gonna have, let's have this as vertical. Okay, so yep, so that's how it is. So let's have some background color also. Let's have color primary. This doesn't looking good. Color accent, yeah, let's see, so that you can actually make out the difference. Or fine, let's have another text box. We can say, sorry, edit text. We'll do edit text. We're gonna have match parent. We're gonna have wrap content, and let's have this as Android hint as, maybe we can say subject, and you can have background color as color dark. So it's gonna look very bad, but it's okay. I wanna show you these things because so that you can able to see the difference. Let's have one more edit box which we have match parent, and let's have height as 0 dp again, but we're gonna give a weight, so it will give a maximum weight to this. So we're gonna define this as 1, and again a background color so that you can make a difference. So have we already have, let's have the red color slash white, or we can have color at the red primary. So and let's make a Android gravity for this as gravity as top. So what we're gonna see, we're gonna see it will be having the maximum gravity over here, because We have given gravity as 1, that's why it has taken the maximum gravity. Let's again put button. Let's have width as 100 dp, height as wrap content, and layout gravity as right. So this is the one thing which I want to show you. So since we have now defined as layout gravity as right, so ideally this button should be at the in the right hand side. So let's have some text also. Button in right side. So yeah, so this is the third attribute which I was talking earlier, that will this button, if you give the layout gravity as right, it will go in the right. If you give this as left, it will go in the left. So again I will again tell what all things we have understood today. So the first one was the orientation, the second one was the weight, and the third one was gravity. So let's see what happens if we make it as horizontal. It's not gonna look so good. Yeah, so this was expected because the way we have defined our layout, we have made based upon the vertical. So that's why it's like this. Because if you're gonna do like horizontal, then you're gonna select over here as wrap content, wrap content. Otherwise, it will take a whole screen because match parent which actually go here, and it will, if this is a, it is, this is complete screen width, so it will again gonna take a complete screen width. So wrap content. Now it will be little better. You can see, like, things are here and there, but you can able to see all the components in the layout. Hey, hi guys. So this is a project which I gonna upload to my GitHub location. So I will just explain once again. So it will be having four activities. The first one is horizontal layout activity, vertical layout activity, layout weight activity, and gravity activity. If you go to the horizontal activity, go here, you can see a horizontal example. If you go to a vertical activity, and if you go here, you will see a vertical example, vertical layout example. If you see weight, you go here for the weight. You have two buttons, and you have weight defined as zero point 0.2 and zero point 0.8. So you can see this particular design for the layout weight activity example. And then you finally have the gravity. So as I explained earlier, in this, if we have defined here layout gravity as right, so you can see this send button is coming in the right. So this is the example I'm gonna upload to the GitHub. Do download it and let me know if you have any questions. And once again, thanks for watching the tutorial. Stay tuned for more tutorials, and please subscribe my channel if you like the video. Thank you.